In previous videos, we've looked at the procedures that ideas go through before they're actually introduced as bills into the House of Commons. So let's start with that first question. Who can introduce a bill? Well, we've seen from those previous videos that there are two categories of public bills. Government bills, obviously, that have the backing of government, that will have gone through the Public Business and Legislation Committee, and private members' bills, some which have won a place in the ballot, but any member at any time can introduce a bill. It might not get any time even for a second reading, but there's nothing to stop a private member presenting a bill. So in this video we're going to be looking at that first step into the House of Commons. Now, of course, bills can also start in the House of Lords, and in a later video I'll be looking at the procedure in the House of Lords. One of the problems of parliamentary procedure is that sometimes the words can be misleading. So we're going to be talking about introduction and first reading. Well, there isn't an introduction in the sense that we would recognise it. The standing orders talk about the presentation of a bill, and as I've said just now, any member, be it member of government introducing a government bill or a backbencher bringing in a private member's bill, can present a bill. To do so, they have to give notice, but it's not much notice. As long as notice is given by the rising of the House on the previous day, then the bill can be introduced. The reason that the deadline is the rising on the previous day is that the notice of presentation needs to be printed in the order paper for the day on which it will be presented. The procedure is very fast. If you go to the parliamentary website, there's a video of a first reading and you'll see that it takes a matter of seconds. It is a pure formality. The name of the bill is stated, a dummy copy, not an actually printed copy of the bill, is handed to the clerks, and there is no first reading as such. What the standing orders talk about is that a bill that has been presented, or a bill that's come from the House of Lords and, in the jargon, is taken up by a member in the House of Commons, is deemed to be read a first time. Now, in the past, there actually were readings of bills. The first reading was the reading after which it was possible to print the bill. And so when a bill is presented, say in this very shortened form, the bill is deemed to be read a first time and is ordered to be printed. It's given a sessional bill number, so if you look up any of the documentation, you'll see that each bill has a number. Now that number will change as the bill goes through its stages, because the first bill that's presented for second reading may well be changed in committee, and so a new version of it is presented with a new number when it gets to report stage. So do take particular care when dealing with bill numbers, because when amendments are put down, if you use the wrong version of the bill, then obviously an amendment to clause 7, which is now clause 6, doesn't make any sense. But first reading, as I say, a pure formality. Have a look at it on the parliamentary website, but once that presentation has taken place, if it's a Lord's bill, there isn't even a presentation. A member who's taking up the bill needs only to inform the clerk. But once that's done and the first reading is deemed to have taken place, the bill is published, and then the second reading can take place. Now, there are conventions about the length of time between first reading and second reading, but of course in the case of an emergency the bill can be presented immediately. So in our next video we're going to be looking at second reading and what that's all about. Thank you.